I'm back again with a third update to my top 10 list of sets for investing in 2024. The year is flying by and we now have a really good idea of the situation surrounding each set that's projected to retire at the end of this year. Since my last quarterly update of my top 10 sets in April, there have been some major retirement list changes, and that has impacted a few sets that were on this list or are now on it because they've been moved on to this year's retirement list. I want to note a few things before we get started. There are quite a few other sets not on this list that I am high on for investing this year. It can be hard to rank them all, and there are many sets that have a good argument to make this list. It's also important to note my investing strategy and my selling platform. My investing strategy is to buy sets at a low enough price so that I'm able to sell them a year to a year and a half after retirement for double my money after shipping and fees. And I sell most of my inventory through Amazon FBA. To hit these aggressive profit timeline targets, I have to buy sets at the best price possible by stacking discounts and waiting for deep sales. If you've been following my channel for a little bit, you'll know that I don't tie myself to a certain list of sets that I want to target for investing. Buy price and the supply and demand numbers are my largest factors in determining whether I will invest in a set. So throughout this video, I'll be sharing my target discounts to pick up each of these sets for investing, and they will be significant, but they are achievable by stacking discounts. I'll talk more about how you can stack discounts later in this video. And lastly, all of the sets talked about in this video are projected to retire by both the BrickTap and Brick Fanatics retirement lists. Alrighty, we have a lot of ground to cover, so let's get started. Previously at number 10, I had the John Deere tractor, but a new set has now entered the list at this spot. Stay tuned to see if the tractor is still on the list. I now have the dried flower centerpiece, set number 10314. It has an MSRP of $49.99. It was released in February of 2023, so it'll have a 1 year and 11-month shelf life. This set was added to the retirement list in May when LEGO made a lot of changes to their retirement plans. It's the second botanical set to retire, but it's technically the third flower set because we did have the tulip set that retired at the end of last year as well. And for some reason, I didn't hardly see anyone talking about it. It was a LEGO exclusive, MSRP of only $10, and at the end of its shelf life, it was on sale for 40% off and lingered in stock at that price until March. Right now on Amazon, it's selling for just under $30. I had 51 of them and made a whole video dedicated to that set. If you want to watch it, it's the second video on my channel. The other set that was under the botanicals theme was, of course, Bird of Paradise. Everyone knows how well it's done. The biggest factors for its success were its limited availability due to it being a Target exclusive. It also had low supply because investors were low on it since it was the least popular botanical set at the time. It went out of stock early, and it was the first in its series to retire. Now that we're to this dried flower centerpiece set, investors are making more excuses for why they don't think the set is a good investment. It is true that it currently has the lowest sales volume of all the botanical sets available, but that doesn't mean it's a bad investment. This set has two factors to consider. It's a botanical set, but it's also a seasonal set. This is made for fall, so of course demand for the set right now isn't going to be as consistently high as other botanical sets that are appropriate for all times of the year. It will essentially have two Q4s worth of demand because it will be a hot item in the fall, but it will also have a great bump in demand over Christmas. Let's take a look at Keepa to see what it did last year. We see exactly what I mentioned. Starting in September, we see demand really picked up, peaking at 10,000 units a month. It could have gone even higher, but it went out of stock for about a month, so who knows, maybe it would have hit 20K. By November, Amazon got another shipment in and ripped out another 20,000 units. We can clearly see that demand is high for this set when it's in season. So just because it's only selling 1,000 units a month right now doesn't mean it's not popular. That's really the only reason I can see to argue against this set as potentially being a great investment besides any factors that are outside of our control. Investor sentiment continuing to be hesitant about this set is another great plus. While the supply definitely won't be as low as Bird of Paradise, I expect that in relation to the demand, it could be undersupplied. Online, this set has been readily available at 20% off, so for me to pick it up for investing, I'm going to need to get them at 40% off or more to hit my profit targets based on my investing strategy. Previously in this spot at number 9, I had the Executor Super Star Destroyer, but unfortunately it's been pushed off the retirement list and is no longer a set that I'm targeting for investing this year. I now have Tales of the Space Age, set number 21340. It has an MSRP of $49.99, released in May of 2023, so it'll have a 1 year and 8-month shelf life when it retires at the end of this year. This is a set I feel the community is very undecided about. I don't see people over the moon about it. no pun intended, and I don't think many people are going out of their way to target this set for investing. Evidence of this is seen by looking at the new offer count on Keepa. It's been low its entire life, and there are currently only 22 people selling this set on Amazon. A concern I had about this set initially was a limited collectability factor. There isn't another set out there that pairs with this, and I wasn't sure if people would want it or if it would be on anyone's radar for collecting once it retired. Instead of speculating whether there's demand for it, using Keepa really helps paint the picture around demand. I know it's hard to contextualize this chart if you don't use Keepa, but this isn't an average demand chart for an idea set. Seeing it hit 3,000 units a month sold throughout this year outside of Q4 really shows that there is considerable demand for this set. That combined with the low supply is why I love this set. I believe many investors have no strong feelings about it for investing and will be passing on it. In terms of common discounts, I haven't seen it more than 20% off online, but it was recently clearanced at a few targets for 30 to 50% off. I currently have 3 that I got for 50% off, and I'll be looking to pick up more at 40%. If you want to see more in-depth LEGO investing content like this, be sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel. I previously had the A-frame cabin at number 8, but it's moved up the list. Now I have the Australia postcard set number 40651. It has an MSRP of $14.99. It was released in January of 2023, so it'll have a 2-year shelf life when it retires. If you saw the first version of my top 10 list of sets for 2024, you'll know that I had the New York postcard as my number 1 set for investing this year. Unfortunately, after making that video, it was pushed off the retirement list. I was initially not nearly as excited about this set or the Beijing postcard earlier in the year, but the more I've thought about this set and seen the metrics around it, I can't help but be excited about it as well. To provide some background, this set is in a line of postcards that are exclusive to LEGO. The Paris postcard was the first to retire at the end of 2023, and it's performed extremely well. It was very undersupplied and totally overlooked by investors. It had an MSRP of $14.99 as well, and shot over $60 very shortly after retirement. Now, of course, the secret is out about that set, and this postcard won't have as dramatic of a price increase, but I believe it has a strong case for investing. It being a LEGO exclusive means there is inherently less supply, and it's harder for investors to purchase a lot of it. We can see that right now, 6 months before retirement, it's selling for $22 on Amazon. This is common for LEGO exclusives to be selling above MSRP on the aftermarket throughout their shelf life. I'm higher on Australia than the Beijing postcard because Beijing has similar supply numbers, but the demand is significantly less. And my last point is that there is great continued collectability with these postcard sets because the London, New York, and Japan postcards will be staying on shelves into 2025. I feel comfortable investing in this set at just 30% off after stacking discounts. I used to have the Prisoner of Azkaban figures at number 7, but I decided to move them off the list. I still love them for investing and have been buying them. I just don't think their ceiling is as high as others on this list because of its high $50 price point. It's still fairly priced at $50 a brickhead, but there will be more limited demand at that price point rather than a dual or single pack brickheads. I now have the A-frame cabin set number 21338. It has an MSRP of $179.99. It was released in February of 2023, so it'll have a 1-year and 11-month shelf life. This set has been compared to the Medieval Blacksmith too much, and I think it's tarnished how people view it as an investment because the Medieval Blacksmith is still lingering in stock. This set is seriously undersupplied. Take a look at the new offer count chart on Keepa. Only 10 sellers currently. I think this is because of 2 reasons: fear of lingering inventory and lack of sales. It's been at MSRP from retailers almost its entire shelf life so far, except for a couple times it briefly went down to 20% off. This set is highly loved in the LEGO community and very unique. I don't expect LEGO will release another A-frame cabin of this scale in the next several years. At a price point of $180, it shows strong demand, ranging from 500 to 1,000 sold per month this year, while rarely being discounted. There's clear continued collectability as people look to expand their LEGO cities, especially with sets that are more unique. If the trend of no significant sales continues throughout its life, buying from either LEGO or Barnes & Noble will probably be your best bet for being able to stack up discounts. I currently have one set that I got from LEGO during a gift with purchase promotion. By selling the GWP, getting 10% cash back through Honey, insiders points, and credit card cash back, I got it for about 47% off. I'd love to pick up more at that discount, but I would feel comfortable buying at a 40% discount after discount stacking. I used to have Christmas Tree set number 40573 at number 6, but this was another victim of the retirement date extensions and it's no longer retiring this year. Replacing it is Diagon Alley Weasley's Wizard Wheezes set number 76422, MSRP of $89.99, released in June of 2023, so it'll only have a 1 year and 7-month shelf life. This set keeps getting better and better for investing every month, it feels like. At the beginning of this year, I wasn't too excited about this set since it was a standalone set, but since then we've had 76439, Ollivanders, and Madame Malkin's robes get released in this line. And now a third set has been leaked, set number 76444, Diagon Alley Wizarding Shops. This set has 7 minifigures, all of which are unique, and their total value is currently $62. That is a phenomenal percentage of the MSRP in minifigure value alone. I've seen many people in the investing world express sentiment that the Harry Potter theme is not good for investing and that no one's buying it. That is simply just not true. I would really recommend looking up every set that retired in 2023 from the Harry Potter theme and see what they're going for right now. Of course, not every set is doing well. There are very few themes where every single set in that theme rises in value significantly. This low investor sentiment is causing many Harry Potter sets to have low supply. This set being a Target exclusive is another factor that helps limit the number of sets investors can stock up on. Because of that, it's selling above MSRP on Amazon, as most Target exclusive sets do. In terms of sales we've seen, it's been discounted from Target a couple times for 20% off, but that's it. This is a set I'll definitely be looking to continue picking up over LEGO's Harry Potter gift with purchase that should be coming up in September, and I'll be aiming to stack up a 40% off discount on it. If you're new to the channel, you may be wondering how I'm able to buy these sets at very large discounts like 40% off. Most LEGO sets will not be discounted by that large of an amount straight up, so you have to be resourceful and stack up discounts. There are several stores where you can really stack discounts. My favorite way to stack discounts is by ordering from lego.com during good GWPs, stacking on insiders points, sometimes even double insiders points, a cashback site like Honey or Rakuten, discounted gift cards, and credit card cashback. By selling your gift with purchases and crediting the profit towards your original order, you're able to create large discounts on your orders after adding up all of your savings. If you want to learn more about this strategy and the savings you can bring in, you should check out this video I made about the best GWPs from 2023, where I break down the discounts you could have created. Also, if you don't have a Rakuten or Honey account, you can join with a nice incentive bonus, $30 for Rakuten, using my referral links in the description below. On my last list, I had set number 40672, Knuckles and Shadowbrick heads at number 5. Stay tuned to see if they're still on the list. I now have set number 75370, Stormtrooper mech, which was at number 5 on the first version of this list. It jumped up to number 3 on my last version, and now it's back up to number 5. I'm also going to include here the Darth Vader mech, set number 75368. They both have an MSRP of $15.99, released in August of 2023, and have a 1 year and 5-month shelf life. From the beginning of 2024, I've been very high on this new line of Star Wars mechs. Pretty much everyone I saw talking about them were completely overlooking them for investing, but as the years gone on, it looks like some investors are warming up to them. While I wish the community was still down on them for investing, I still believe they can be some of the best investments this year. As I've said before, this is a new sub-theme of Star Wars. Everyone gets excited about the collectability of the helmets, dioramas, or Starship collection, but that level of hype has not carried over to the mechs. The first wave started last year with Boba Fett, Darth Vader, and the Stormtrooper. I like all of them, but I love the Stormtrooper and Darth Vader the most, with the Stormtrooper a little higher due to the army building factor of it. There is incredible demand for the Stormtrooper mech. Let's take a look at Keepa. It consistently sells 4,000 plus a month on Amazon. Darth Vader sells 2,000 to 3,000 per month after Q4, and Boba Fett is the weakest with 1,000 to 2,000 per month sold. On top of the Stormtrooper mech having more demand, it's also seen the least amount of discounts compared to the other two, which makes its sales volume numbers even more impressive. Here's the new offer chart for it. It's currently at 49. For Darth Vader, while it does have less demand, the supply is lower at 29 offers. Now you're about to see why Boba Fett is not on this list. It has the worst of both worlds. It has the least amount of demand, but also the most offers at 52. I see these mechs like getting in on the first Microfighters. They're pretty much the same concept, a small set with a minifigure that has playability. The Microfighter line has been around for years, and many of them have had significant jumps in value due to their collectability, price point, and demand. We know that LEGO is continuing this mech line because of the Luke Skywalker X-Wing mech that was released recently. Even if for some reason LEGO decides not to make any more of these mechs, which I think is unlikely, the continued collectability aspect will be there for at least a year into retirement while the Luke Skywalker mech is on shelves. Another point for why I like the Stormtrooper mech is because it can be modified to make other characters. I've seen great mocks with Clone Commander Cody and Captain Rex. Any reason people can have to buy multiples of a set increases its demand potential and is a great factor to have in a LEGO investment. The Stormtrooper minifigure isn't exclusive, currently valued at $6.17, but that's okay. The figure doesn't need to be unique for the set to take off in value in my opinion. The price point for the set is a bit steep at $15.99. You can easily pick them up for 20% off, but I'll be aiming higher for around a 40% discount. Previously, I had two sets, Gandalf the Grey and Balrog and Aragorn and Arwen at number 4, but I've now replaced them with a trio of Sonic sets. Those are 40672 Knuckles and Shadow, 40627 Sonic the Hedgehog, and 40628 Miles, Tails, Prower. The Sonic and Tails set both have an MSRP of $9.99, were released in September of 2023, so they'll have a 1 year and 4 month shelf life. Then Knuckles and Shadow has an MSRP of $19.99, was just released in February of 2024, so it'll have an 11-month shelf life. I believe many of the retiring Brickhead sets this year will be some of the top performers for investing this year, but to keep this list from just being mostly Brickheads, I've picked two groups of sets from this theme. I will talk about the second group momentarily. The Sonic brand continues to be very relevant today. There's a Knuckles TV show that came out recently on Paramount Plus. It looks like that may be just a one-off miniseries, but if another series comes out, that would be great. Additionally, they're coming out with another movie, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, at the end of December. Almost perfect timing to see a spike in demand for these sets. And of course, there's potential for a fourth movie in the years to come. With LEGO also continuing to release sets in the Sonic theme, there seems to be no slowdown of demand for these characters anytime soon. These are the first Sonic characters we've gotten in Brickhead's form, but the historical performance of the theme gives me no concern that there will be plenty of demand for them in retirement. As LEGO exclusives, they are consistently selling well over MSRP on eBay and Amazon, which is one of the best signs for a LEGO investment. I'll be looking to get as many of these sets that I can at 30% off after stacking discounts. As I mentioned, the Stormtrooper mech was previously at number 3, and filling its spot are the 4 Lord of the Rings Brickheads, Gandalf the Grey and Balrog, Aragorn and Arwen, Legolas and Gimli, and Frodo and Gollum. Legolas and Gimli have an MSRP of $19.99, were released in just June of 2024, so they'll only have a 7-month shelf life, and the other 3 Brickheads were released in January of 2023, and they'll have a 2-year shelf life. These are all LEGO exclusive Brickheads that are in high demand. Hype around the Lord of the Rings theme is real. We have 2 massive sets continuing into 2025, and I'm sure more will be on the way. I was previously lower on the Frodo and Gollum set, but I think it does deserve a spot up here with the others. I do still think it's the weakest and will perform slightly worse than the other 3 due to the amount of supply on the market, but it still should perform very well. The Lord of the Rings franchise has seen a resurgence over the past few years. The Prime show, Rings of Power Season 2, will be coming out in August, with the 3rd season already in the works. A new movie will be coming out in December, and another movie, The Hunt for Gollum, is targeted to come out in 2026, with more movies expected to come after that one. There's plenty of cultural relevance for this theme, which will continue to drive demand for these sets well into retirement. And of course, as LEGO exclusives, they're selling well over MSRP in the aftermarket, with a buy box for Gandalf and Balrog currently already at $40 on Amazon right now. These sets really speak for themselves in my opinion. I've already got some of each, and I'll be buying more around the 30 to 35% off range after discount stacking. The 332nd and 501st battle packs were at the number 2 slot in my past video, but since then the 501st battle pack has been extended past 2024. Because of that and the other Star Wars sets that got extended, there's been an increased focus on the Ahsoka battle pack for investing. I'm still looking to buy more of this set, but I don't think I can keep it on this list. I was a big fan of it because of how undersupplied it was, and because it was pretty overlooked in the early parts of this year. Now it's just not the case. The Stormtrooper and Darth Vader mechs both move more volume and have less third-party sellers on Amazon than the 332nd pack. I've gone ahead and replaced it with a John Deere tractor set number 42136, MSRP of $34.99, released in March of 2022, so it will have a 2-year and 10-month shelf life. This is another set that I found myself getting higher and higher on throughout this year. Investor sentiment continues to be mid to low, and supply is remaining low because of it. This set really interests me because it's John Deere. There's a large group of John Deere collectors out there that collect anything related to the brand that they can. This also isn't just a one-off set. There are two other John Deere Technic sets available right now, the Forage Harvester and Skidder. The Skidder is projected to retire at the end of this year, but the Harvester is continuing on into 2025. Collectors who find out about these sets after 2024 will want to go back and buy this set. Being in the first wave of this sub-theme to retire is another big factor for why I like this set. Many people are on the fence about it because we don't have anything to compare it to in the past for investing. Demand is steady for the set, it hovers around 1,000 sets sold per month, and supply is also steady at 40 sellers, but the lowest available third-party offer is currently $43. I'm not nearly as high on the Skidder, one, because the supply and demand numbers are worse, but second, because it has a totally different scale than the Harvester. So from a continued collectability standpoint, people picking up the Harvester in 2025 would much rather go back and pick up the tractor since it would look nice to display next to it. It's also harder to display the Skidder in an office or on a bookshelf. You'd have to be a dedicated LEGO fan to want to display such a large set. The smaller scale opens up the target demographic to people that aren't just big LEGO collectors. Finally, it's also much less recognizable and iconic. And besides its price, I think that's why the sales velocity is way less than the tractor at only 100 sold each month since Q4. For all of these reasons, I'm expecting the John Deere tractor to be one of the best investments in 2024. I have my target discount to buy for investing at 40% off. Before I move on to the number one set, I want to be fully transparent and say that my absolute number one set for investing this year, I'm saving to only talk about on my Patreon. I identified it very early this year, and from what I've seen, it's continued to go completely under the radar on LEGO Investing YouTube. So if you want to know what that set is, check out the link to join in the description below. In my last version of this set, the exotic pink parrot, set number 31144, was my number one set for investing, and it remains the number one spot today. It has an MSRP of $19.99, was released in August of 2023, so will only have a 1 year and 5 month shelf life. Everything that I loved about this set for investing earlier in the year has continued to stay true. Many big breakout performing sets, like last year with the Bird of Paradise, the Paris Postcard, and Thor's Hammer, all have had one thing in common. They're the first of a new sub-theme or theme. There's some ambiguity and risk on whether the line will be popular or if people will want them at all in retirement, causing some investors to stay away or not buy as many. LEGO is continuing to target adults with new themes, and we see this with the latest sub-theme of birds that they're releasing under the Icons line. The first in that series is the Kingfisher, and I'm sure they'll be coming out with more in the future. Outside of the Icons line, LEGO has released many bird sets in recent history, like the Parrot Art set, the Small Bird's Nest, the exotic pink parrot, the blue version of the set, and the Creator 3-in-1 birdhouse. And we can't just gloss over the fact that this set is a recolor of the exotic parrot set number 31136. It's exactly the same but in a blue color. It's also not a retailer exclusive, it's available at every major retailer, and it's not scheduled to retire at the end of this year. People are going to see this blue version on shelves or on Amazon and want to go and pick up any other sets that go along with it, and this pink parrot will be exactly what people want. Now, all of these are great reasons for why I think the set is going to do amazing in retirement, but let me put the icing on the cake. The demand for this blue version is insane. I've been checking it throughout the year, and it's always in the best sellers on Amazon in the building sets category. It moves at least 10,000 units a month, and over Q4, it sold 40,000. You may be wondering why I'm not showing the sales numbers for this pink version. Well, that's because it's a Target exclusive, not sold on Amazon. The limited availability is huge for this set. You can see that by going to Amazon or eBay to see that it's already selling for 50% over MSRP. I've already stacked up 21 of this set at a significant discount, and I plan on picking up many more, aiming to get them at a 35% off discount or more. Alrighty, that is my list of the top 10 sets for investing in 2024. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this list, whether you agree or disagree, in the comments below. Two more things I want to cover before I wrap up this video. First, I want to address why I didn't post a video last week. As I celebrated 1 year of uploading weekly or twice weekly videos to the channel, I sat down to reflect on how my life has changed because of it. While I love making videos for you all, it has consumed my life for the past year. I need to restore a healthy balance in my life again, and because of that, I will be scaling back my upload schedule. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere, but I am now planning to upload every other week going forward. That ties into my second item. My investing community has grown significantly. The Discord has become very active, and I want to be able to stay engaged as much as possible with everyone. As I scale back making content for the YouTube channel, I will be redirecting my focus to my community and Patreon to continue to improve it and engage with everyone. So going forward, if you want to engage more often with myself and the community, I definitely recommend checking out the Patreon and consider if it's something you'd be interested in being a part of. This is also one of your last chances to join at the founder rate that's currently available. A week from posting this video, the price for new joiners will be increasing. Okay, that is everything I had to cover in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I'd appreciate it if you could drop a like and subscribe to my channel for more LEGO investing content. I'd also love to hear your thoughts on the sets I discussed in the video in the comment section below. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. As always, my videos are not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm only sharing my journey as a LEGO investor, and I encourage you to do your own research before buying any LEGO sets.